Okay, so hopefully you're feeling good with this so far. And we're going to move into example 2 to begin this part 2 of section 1.3. And what I want you to do here is read through the example and try parts A, B, and C. And again, pause the video and then come back when you're ready to go through the answers. Hopefully you did that. Here we go. So in each situation, we'll determine whether or not a placebo is needed and be able to justify your answer. So a researcher wants to study whether a new drug treatment is more effective than an old drug treatment. Well, in this case, you don't really need a placebo because one group is going to get the new, the other group is going to get the old. So everybody's going to be getting something already. So you don't need to, make people think that they're getting something with a placebo. So comparing new to old, anytime you're doing that, everybody's getting something, so you don't need to fake out the group that's getting nothing. So comparing new to old. All right, the second one, the Better Drug Company, LLC, wants to determine if their treatment will improve muscle growth. Well, this one should definitely get placebo here. This is a yes because you're not comparing it to something else to see if it's better. One group is going to get the treatment, the other group is going to get the placebo, and you're going to see if the treatment does improve muscle growth. So a placebo should be used in the control group. To compare with treatment. And the last one here, a teacher wants to try a new way to explain a concept. This really doesn't make sense for a treatment, unless the teacher is giving everybody a smart pill or something. They don't have those yet. But yeah, you're not going to have a placebo here. So no, it doesn't make sense in this situation. So if I can spell sense. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the next concept here. Okay, so blinding, this will be the last thing that we do in this section. And blinding, it really has nothing to do with eyes. In a sense, it's, maybe in certain situations you could say, oh yeah, we're blinding somebody with a blindfold or whatever, and in that spirit it's there. But typically when you're talking about blinding in a statistical study, what you're doing is making sure that people don't know what they're getting, or the people who are running the study don't know who got what. So I guess in that respect, technically, if you think about it like that, it is kind of like a blindfold, but people aren't really typically wearing blindfolds with this. So it's just, they're separating the groups so that no one knows who got what, so to speak. So basically the reason you do blinding is to avoid potential concerns with bias, and we'll cover this in section 1.4. So in a blind study, usually when a placebo is used in a study, the people in the study will not know if they received the treatment or the placebo until the study is completed. In other words, the people in the study do not know if they're in the treatment group or in the control group. This type of study is called a blind study. So note, when researchers use a placebo in a blind study, the people in the study are told ahead of time that they may be getting the actual treatment or they may be getting the placebo. But they just don't know. They're randomly selected to be either treatment or placebo, or treatment or control. In a double-blind study, sometimes researchers are conducting a very extensive study using many healthcare workers. The researchers will not tell the people in the study or the healthcare workers which patients will receive the treatment and which patients will receive the placebo. So in other words, the healthcare workers who are administering the treatment or placebo to the people in the study do not know which people are in the treatment group and which people are in the control group. And this is called double-blind. One of the reasons that you might do a double-blind study is for ethical concerns. A lot of drug companies, they make a lot of money on their drugs. And if they have somebody out there running the study who knows who's getting the treatment and who's getting the control, the way that a person might ask questions about how they're feeling, could be misleading. It might be like, oh, you sure you're not feeling good? So looking at their paper and seeing that the person's in the treatment group, they might be like, are you sure you're not feeling better? You look at you, oh, you're glowing. You look like you feel great. And, this is, something where it's like they're trying to kind of egg the person on to say that, oh, yeah, maybe I do feel a little better. Whereas when they look at the paper and say, oh, this person's in the control, they'll be like, you don't look like you're feeling good at all. And they'll be like, no, I'm not, or whatever. But, so this is to kind of avoid that line of questioning where maybe the person looks at a paper, knows who's getting what, and then asks their questions in a different way and gets a more favorable response that, yes, the treatment is working, when maybe in fact it's not. It's just the way they were asking the questions. So double blind, should be really used anytime, you're doing a drug study and, looking at the effectiveness of a treatment where people are responding with their, feelings. And pretty much in general, you want to eliminate the bias, eliminate any ethical concerns with this study. So double blind is usually best, and then only a person in the middle who sets things up knows who gets what, but they're not really involved in the actual nuts and bolts of the study. So double-blind studies are preferred if the ethical issues are a concern. So example 3 here, last example of the section, is the following a blind or double-blind study, and why? So I'm going to give you just a little bit here. Go ahead and pause, and then come back. All right, hopefully you did that. And Hector uses a group of participants to determine if his sugarless soda tastes as good as the sugar soda. So each participant is given a cup of soda with a letter on it. Some of the cups have sugar, some do not. Hector has a list of the cup letters indicating which ones are sugar and which are not. So in this case, the participants, they just see a letter. They don't know that the letter means sugar, not sugar. All they see is a letter. However, Hector, he knows when a person picks up that cup whether or not they're going to have sugar or not. So in this case, this would just be a single blind study. So it is blind because the participants don't know what they're getting, but Hector can tell what people are getting. So the participants don't know, but Hector did. All right, so that's the end of 1.3. And, it's probably, hopefully, enough information for you to go in and attempt the homework. And if you have questions, please ask.